Hey, what's up guys? So we're going to be featuring this awful card today, Yado Karu. So let's jump into his effect. And I'm sorry that this is going to be a little bit blurry, but this is the best picture I can find of it. And I zoomed it in on Photoshop. But that said, it is a very, very bad card. I'm glad there's no high resolutions because that would be a waste of space on the internet to store the bandwidth it would cost for this card. But that said, I'm a pretty optimistic guy. I try to find out uses for cards, but I can't even find any use for this card. But let's get into his effect and then let's attempt. But anyways, his effect is when this card is changed from defense position to attack position, you can place any number of cards from your hand at the bottom of your deck in any order you desire. So you can go as minus as you want in any order you desire. Sounds great, right? So I was like, okay, you know, maybe this what is it? I think it's an alligator with that's in a hermit crab that happens to have claws of a hermit crab, but that face looks like an alligator. I don't think hermit crabs look like that, but maybe it's some Japanese mythical beast. I don't know. Either way, this card is awful, and it came out in Metal Raiders, which was a pretty good set. You know, there's a lot of good cards in Metal Raiders. I mean, there was Mirror Force. Like, there's so many good cards. Solemn Judgment. There's so many good cards that came out in Metal Raiders. But that said, he's got 1900 attack. He's got 1700 defense. He's a water level 4. No uses to see like any play. And I was looking at the wiki. I was like, okay, you know, I'm an optimistic person. Maybe someone was like posted some way to use Yado Karu there. So there's some person that was like, oh, no, you can use Magical Merchant. Like if you Magical Merchant with this, but this has to be changed from defense position to attack position. So that means you have to set this card, and have to not attack over it, and then you have to move it next turn, and then you leave him in attack position at 900 attack. Not the smartest move in my opinion, but okay, the person was like, okay, you can put a whole bunch of your spell or trap back, and then put them at the bottom of your deck, and then Magical Merchant, and then not draw, like, you know, at least most of them, because you're probably, unless those are the only spells and traps that you drew, you're probably not going to draw those back once again. So you're just basically going more minus. And then someone else was like, okay, if you play the assault modes, you can put the assault modes back, or cards that you don't want to draw. But there's like cards like Assault Teleport that already let you do that, and there's also Magical Mallet. So I was like, no, Yado Karu, I'm sorry. No more optimistic Asian Eyes White Dragon with you, because there's no use for this card. If anyone can find out a use for this card, please let me know in the comment section below. But I think this is definitely one of the worst Yu-Gi-Oh cards of all time. Definitely up there. There's a lot that we'll go over, but I don't want to pick any normal monsters, because that's, I mean, sure, there's some normal monsters probably with like 1200 attack that you got a tribute 2 for. I know Hansan Ryu is one of those awful cards, but no normal monsters for these videos. I just want to kind of keep it fun, and most of these cards are pretty old, and the artwork is kind of funny on them, because Yu-Gi-Oh had kind of some interesting artwork for a long time. You know, in the very beginning of the game, there was some pretty weird-looking cards. We'll go over a lot of those weird-looking cards that have awful effects, but I just want to show you guys Yado Karu, because someone sent me this card, and I was like, no, there's no way that it could be, like, look at that effect, it's so bad. And, like, this is the highest resolution of the Yado Karu that I can find. That was in English. I did find a German one, I believe it was in German, that had a higher resolution, but, like, I was like, no, I want to show you guys the effect, and unfortunately, I can't speak German, so I can't really read you the effect. I wish I could, but yeah, the resolution was better on that one. But this is the best resolution I could find of this card, and this card is so bad. But you know what's funny? Is I bet you in some of the Yu-Gi-Oh games, they would start you out with this. Because you guys know in like the Yu-Gi-Oh games, when you first start out, they start you off with like the worst cards possible. And then you have to play against like Lightsworn. It's like, oh, this is a fair matchup, right? My Yado Karu Wing Karibo deck versus your Lightsworn. It seems like a very good duel. But that said, yeah, I have no use for this card. If anyone can think of a use for this card, please let me know in the comment section below. And then also, continuing on with the whole shoutouts thing, if you find cards that are awful, let me know in the comment section below. And then next time, if it gets featured in my next the worst card ever, well, the worst cards ever, because we're going to go over a lot of these, because I think these are just fun, and I like to hear what you know, you guys have to say. Yeah, you'll get a shout-out for the next awful card that we happen to go over. But yeah, this card, definitely not the greatest card. I just don't see any use for it. But thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes White Dragon signing out.